Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the course. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about logos, ethos, and pathos, especially in public speaking, how it used in public speaking, and what is logos, ethos, and pathos. Theoretically, we are going to dig more about how logos, ethos, and pathos actually affect the audiences or the delivery of our material in public speaking as a whole. So, what we are going to learn today. At the end of this class, the students are expected to understand the concept of logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking. And second, the students are able to identify the logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking. Lastly, the students are able to appropriately use logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking. So let me start this lesson by showing you a very inspiring figure. Is there anyone who know her already? Probably if you're if you are fans of TED Talk, probably you have known her. She is a Molly Wright. She is a grade 2 student from Queensland, Australia. She is an inspiring wildlife warrior, performer, and budding social activist. With help of her parent, she runs Molly's Wildlife Warrior, a group of 40 children who raise awareness and fund from Currumbin Wildlife Hospital Foundation in Queensland, Australia. She's a proud big sister, Freddie, and Matilda. So it's a Dalmatian puppy. So Molly Wright did her first TED Talk and it inspired a lot. Okay? And Molly Wright is the perfect example of how to use logos, ethos, and pathos in a public speaking. So we are going to move on to the phase one of this activity. So in this activity, you are required to be able to identify first, right? So in these stimulations, you are required to listen to a TED talk that Molly performed a few years ago. So if you can identify, so you can pause this video later on, then you can search on your YouTube channel, Molly Wright, How Every Child Can Thrive by 5. Or if somehow you are unable to find a proper video, you can use this link to direct you to the video. So I'll give you like uh, 8 minutes or 10 minutes to finish the video. So please uh, identify, right? Please identify what is actually the thing that you like from her talk, or what made you content from the way of how she actually did her public speaking. All right. So I'll give you time. You can pause any time in this slide before moving on to the next slide. All right. After watching the videos, I'm pretty sure that you are uh, pretty much touched by her speech, right? She is a young and a talented woman. She's young, but yet she talked in front of publics outstandingly, right? So let's discuss a few questions. First, do you trust what Molly Wright said in her speech, right? So this question probably appeal in your mind. So sometimes you do understand what she taught you, and you do believe on what she actually convey, what she actually told you, right? The second question is how deep that you feel what Molly Wright stated in her speech. Are you very deeply touched by her speech or not, right? So you will be given some time to fill the answer to these two questions in the Padlet website. So if you, it's hard for you to go to that site, you can go directly by typing this link, and you will move directly to the site and fill your answer, right? And you also can check the answer from your friends right on the Padlet wall. All right, I'll give you some time, like 5 minutes to 10 minutes. All right, go ahead and check, and you can pause this video again, and then we'll see you after this, right? All right, then after filling the question, I believe that most of you provide the answers that basically relevant to the theory that we are going to discuss today, right? So, what is the true factor that make you believe in Molly right on her speech, right? So, in these actions or in this step, we are going to discuss on what aspect that actually Molly performed in her speech, right? All right. So, there are three things that actually affect on how you believe on Molly right speech. There are there are several things that has been touched, right? Probably it can be heart, it can be head, it can be creed or the ethos. So we are going to discuss each of these items individually, right? Starting from the heart. So as a glimpse, heart is actually we call pathos, right? Head, we call it logos, and creed, we call it ethos, right? I'll go into the explanation later on. Let's move on to the heart first. So what is actually pathos, right? Heart is the pathos. Pathos has the representation, which is heart, right? So what is actually heart? It's an emotional, right? Something that you don't really think whether it's true or not, but whether it's touch your heart or not, whether it's touching your heart or not, right? So what are the aspects that actually given in this pathos? So choose an emotional point and a topic, analogies and metaphor, ensure that the emotion you want to induce is suitable for the context, using humor, visual aid, stand as close as you can to the audience, and use words that carry suitable connotations. Right. In the video that I have shown to you before about Molly Wright, Molly Wright have touched your heart, right? By showing sympathy, emotional transformations, right? When Molly Wright trying to convince you about how bad these actions are going to influence the children's life, for example, they show Molly Wright shows you a very emotional intonation, connotation, or also the word choices, right? So it touches your heart because why? Because it brings your emotional, play with your emotions, right? It shows you how empathy, when it's sad, they will reduce their tone, for example. So that's what a good public speaker do, right? So in this case, Molly Wright has already performed to you on how to use it correctly when showing that it's a happy situations to have a connection with their parent in the for the children. Molly Wright shows you a very happy face, for example, so it will touch your heart, right? And they will decrease the tone into a sad tone when showing a bad things happen when the connections are cut down, for example. So that's what we believe will impactful, right, to the life or to the audience life, for example. If you bring this kind of technique into your public speaking, so it will be easier for you to be understood, it will be easier for you to be believed by the audience, right? Because you can use an emotional point of view and analogies, metaphor, using humor, visual aids, stand as close to your audience, and you also can carry a suitable connotation, right? Which actually been performed by Molly Wright from the very first place. All right, so let's move on to the next item. So the second item is a hack, right? So it's actually what we call it logos. Logos mean a proof, reason, right? States, metaphor. So this is something that hat will work with. Right? So the analogy of logos is head, because head play with logical, right? Specific, comprehensive, whether it can be trusted if you tell the audience the truth, right? Or giving them reason, giving them example. So this is how you actually play with the audience because you use logos. If the content that you are delivering is not logically acceptable to the audience, it will be hard for you to be understood and to be accepted as one of the public speaker, right? So in the video that have been shown by Molly Wright, Molly Wright have given you a very uh, credible example of how that this connection bring good or bring betterment to to the children, and how it will give you a bad impact if you cut that connection out, for example. So it's very logical because Molly Wright shows you the example right away, right? So, and before starting onto the simulations, Molly Wright also stated about a few things, right? About how the theory shows you that the connection between parent, how the brain uh, development within the age, the golden age, for example, of the children. So this is very comprehensive. This is very logical and specific, provided with proof, reasons, and also with a very good example, right? So that is what Molly's Wright did in Logos. So be comprehensive, be logical, and be specific. So that's what we call Logos, right? So next move on to ethos. So ethos is a trust, credibility, and experience. So sometimes we call it creed because sometimes you need to show how credible you are to be a good speaker, right? So people need to trust you before even you start speaking, right? So that's how Molly Wright did, right? Molly Wright playing with ethos because she is a very young and talented, right? Which is actually she was speaking from the experience, which is obviously we can see that. And uh, Muller also stated that what we call it that the example to shows that she is credible to be a speaker, right? So creed and ethos is about trustworthiness and respect, similarity to the audience, authority, expertise, and reputation or history, right? So this is what Molly Wright did also in her speech. So she was gaining the trust of the audience, credibility, and experience become the weapon of this women or of this girl to be a good public speaker in TED Talk. So this is what we are showing you as an ethos, right? So to sum up, there are three things that need to be equipped or completed in a good public speaker speech. First, it's about pathos, logos, and ethos, or logos, ethos, pathos, whatever the what you call whatever the pace is, or whatever the number is, right? So it can be logos, ethos, and pathos first. Okay. So these three things become the weapon of Molly Wright to actually gain a better understanding from the audience, or also touching the deep heart of the audience. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the generalization, right? So, what do you think that makes the audience believe on the speech of the Molly Wright? What are the most essential aspects in the speech, and what is logos, ethos, and pathos? So, in these generalizations, I will require my students or um, all the students to actually fill the answers to this question based on your understanding. So you can directly go to the Padlet, or you can go to https://sid activity to public speaking. It will directly to the designated uh, Padlet wall, and then you can answer this question, write it right there. Then to you also can check the audience answers to confirm your understanding whether it's correct or not, right? Okay. So after filling that Padlet or writing your answer on Padlet, this is the final um, moment where you need to fill the answer to the quizzes that I have provided. So this is the link of the quizzes. You can go to that quizzes link and then enter this code 97283361. So it will shows you a list of the question about logos, ethos, and pathos. So you can answer that. You can simply pick the best answer, and it will take like no more than 20 minutes. So you can pause this video and go to answer and go answering the question, right? Okay, go ahead. You can pause these videos, and after that, go back to the video, and we're going to show you the upcoming discussion that we are going to conduct in the classroom. All right. Okay. So after filling the answer, uh, I'm sure that you have learned a lot. Probably your answer could be correct or could be incorrect, but the most important thing is not about the score, but it's about the feedback that you have after filling the formative quizzes, right? So this is the upcoming discussion that we are going to conduct. What are the impact of each aspect of logos, ethos, and pathos into you as the speaker and the audiences? We are going to discuss this in the next meeting, and I want each of you to be active during the discussions. All right. Okay. So this is the end of the class. This is the end of this course. I hope that you already understand the concept of logos, ethos, and pathos as a whole. And then if you are still, having some questions and you want to address it to me, you can check in Spada, or you can directly comment in the comment section below, and I'll catch you up, and then I'll answer the question when I have a free time later on, right? So as the conclusions, there are three things that need to be performed into a good public speaking model, like logos, ethos, and pathos. Logos, it's about logical, right? About how logic is your content, and then pathos is about emotions. It's about heart, how deep that you can touch the audience heart, like using the word, using the intonation, using the connotation, and etc. And then the last one is ethos. Ethos is your credibility, right? As a person, people need to trust you before even you start speaking, right? So like it's from your dress, it's about your from um, experience, personality, and etc. That is really matter. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you everyone for watching this video so far and doing the activity that has been designed to construct your understanding as at the end. I hope that you guys can learn from this video, and I'll wait for your answer and question in the comment sections. All right. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.